Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today we'll be talking about a very interesting topic, the fact that I'm Japanese. How I became Japanese in 15 months. So, from the start of the process to me being naturalized took 15 months. First, a little bit about me. I'm a Jamaican English teacher living and working in Japan. On a language instructor visa. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, and Um, I have Japanese N3, JLPT N3, working on N2 right now. The basic requirements for becoming a Japanese national is to have lived in Japan for 5 consecutive years on a valid status of residence and being 20 years of age or more. There are 6 categories of assessment. You have domicile, capacity, conduct, livelihood, prevention of multiple nationality condition, and constitution compliance condition. Domicile. For domicile, as I stated earlier, you have to be living in Japan for 5 consecutive years. So if you had left Japan and if you had lived in Japan for 2 years and left and then came back to live for another 3 years, that wouldn't qualify you to be naturalized. Your stay in Japan must be consecutive and you must be on a valid visa. So it could be a PR, a spousal visa, or a natural work visa, or perhaps even a student visa. But it must be 5 consecutive years on a valid visa. For capacity, it's speaking about your ability to make the decision to become naturalized. So, to be able to become naturalized, you must be able to make the decision in your own home country. So, whatever the age limit is, starting at 18, you must be able to make that decision in your own home country. Initially, the age was 20, it was lowered to 18 in 2022. But once in your own country you're able to do that, then it's fine. For conduct, this is going to speak to your the way you lived your life in Japan, whether you have been paying your taxes, whether you've been paying your pension, whether you've had traffic violations, whether you've been in had issues with the law, any criminal record, or anything like that. So it's basically going to be judging the kind of person you've been in Japan as a way of estimating the kind of citizen you will become. Yeah. So that's for conduct. Next, for livelihood, this is speaking about your ability to take care of your financial obligations in Japan, be it pay your rent, buy your food, your regular expenses, your livelihood. So, this can be by your own merit, whether you can get a job, or by your family's merit if you are unemployed and you are filing for naturalization. So, it could be your spouse's or your relatives' ability to earn and provide for you financially here in Japan. For the prevention of multiple nationality, Japan does not allow for dual citizenship. So if you do have citizenship in a country that allows dual citizenship, you will be required to give up that citizenship to become Japanese. The only exemption is if you're unable to give up that citizenship, you're not allowed to give up your citizenship, or you're unable to go because of other situations that would prevent you from being able to do so. For the constitutional compliance, don't want to overthrow the Japanese government. So this is going to check whether you have plotted to in the past or you're currently plotting to overthrow the Japanese government. Don't do that. It sounds easy, right? Well, on the surface, it is kind of easy. But I think for everyone, it's going to be a little bit different. The situations are going to be a little bit different. I know for myself, my case was pretty straightforward. So I was able to do my entire naturalization process by myself without having to have a lawyer come in and help me. Um, I was able to get the whole process sorted out because I didn't have any extenuating circumstances. So it will be different for everyone. So if you have had legal issues in the past, or you haven't been paying your pension, or you're not up to date with your taxes, or any of those situations, then you might want to speak with an immigration lawyer to handle your case with you. But I think if your case is straight up, you naturally meet all these steps, the six basic requirements, then you should be able to do the process like I did. You should be able to do the naturalization process without having a lawyer, I think. So additional requirements is Japanese language ability. All the documents are done in Japanese, or you have to write an essay in Japanese. You have to read everything in Japanese. They check for community connections, cultural awareness. So for me, I met those by because I'm studying Ikebana actively. So I met all of those conditions just by studying Ikebana. As I said before, you have to write an essay in Japanese about why you want to be in Japan. So the areas that were a bit difficult for me was just the Japanese, just reading, writing, and speaking in Japanese because I don't get a lot of chance to speak Japanese in my everyday job as an English teacher, and the vocabulary is unfamiliar. Everything is super keigo, so it was difficult. It was also difficult to collect all the documents required to meet the different criterias, and you have to translate your entire life into Japanese. I was able to do the translation for myself, but you can also use a translation service. Then you have to chronicle your entire life in Japanese dates. And gannen, oh, gannen made it so difficult. And also, there are several meetings that you have to do. And each meeting for me took 2 hours each time. So you have to have the time to do it. So for me, for my timeline, I had my first interview in October. At that point, they gave me an outline of all the steps I'd need to take, but then gave me the preliminary documents that I'd need to bring to just see whether it is even worth me applying. And then each time I went back and I gave them the documents, then they'd give me a new set of documents that I need to bring. And I went back several times, as you can see outlined in this video. And then my final document submission was April 1st, 2022. And then the waiting began. So documents was from October until April. And then the rest of the time was wait. So I waited. Of course, there were a few phone calls to check like on some clarification on some other things. And then in January, I was given a standby call that it is approved and will get to me in a few weeks. My naturalization was approved on the 27th. I collect the notification on the 8th, and I registered on the 9th. And now I'm Japanese. So that was a simplified explanation of how I became Japanese in 15 months. I'm super happy I was able to do the process. I'm not an immigration lawyer, but I am able to provide any kind of answer any kind of questions that you guys may have, anything you'd want to know. I can do a part two and go a little more in depth in any areas that you're interested in. So let me know in the comments whether there's anything you want to know, any questions you have. um, I can also do another video to outline what's next after having the Japanese citizenship because there's so much you have to do after you've become naturalized. So many other steps you have to take. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a part two on this. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and share. Um, yeah, like and share because today I had a whole argument with somebody who didn't believe that I'm naturalized or that I could become naturalized, and they were all but certain it was impossible for someone like me. Not sure what that means. But there are a lot of people who do not know that this is available to you. A lot of people who've invested their lives into Japan who can't see themselves living anywhere else and would like to live here permanently, and that might be a step that is best for you or a viable option for you. So, yeah, if you need any other questions to explore the options some more, please ask me. I'm willing to help and share the information because I couldn't find a lot out there when I was doing it. So I would love to be a resource to someone else. So thank you so much for watching.